Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It's your host with the most. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and let's get right into this story without any further delay. So we've been tracking this whole Klansman Wandan gang trial that's taking place in Jamaica, and I'm telling you, every video that we've done so far, this is about video number 35 or something like that. Every video we've done so far has been more intriguing than the video before, with all these informations and weird stories that are coming out. I'm still scratching my head at some of this, just wondering, then I saw people really live though? People really live certain way and believe in certain things and do certain things? Boy, the only way I could access this type of world is through hearing about it from things like this, because I would have never gone down this road, or my life didn't go down this road, so I cannot relate to some of this stuff. Anyhow, here's another one. Accused gangsters dabbled in a cult, and they had a teenage Obeah man. Now I know a lot of people are laughing and say, teenage Obeah man? What teenage are we gonna know about Obeah? But hey, listen. So a teenager that is aligned to the St. Catherine-based Klansman gang gave Citypuss, allegedly Citypuss being a top lieutenant in the gang who was serving time at the time. They said that the teenage Obeah man gave him credible information about planned searches by warders way ahead of time, and also told him who from his camp was hand in hand with the rivals. This was printed in the Jamaica Observer on February 24th of 2022. Shout out to the Jamaica Observer for this one. You can go and read that article yourself. Citypuss, who has been ranting about disloyalty in the ranks of the Wandan faction of the gang, which had virtually deserted their alleged leader Andre Blackman Bryan after his incarceration in 2018, extolled the virtues of occultism in the latest of several recordings that were played in the ongoing trial of the 33 individuals that were accused of being part of the gang. So what you're going to hear is some of what was said in court when these recordings were played. Remember, one of the gang member them actually switched sides and said he had 3 phones that he recorded them on, and he turned over all 3 phones to the police. You can call him informer, you can call him snitch, you can call him whatever you want to call him, but it's his recordings that are now being played, and it seems like it's his recordings that are not only giving us an insight into this world that they live in, but his recordings seem to be the main factor that's going to put away some of these people who are on trial. Juvenile, they call him. Have a Obeah man, one little youth, about 15 years old. A him a walk Obeah for them. A him a the Obeah man. Yeah, man. Man, good Obeah man. A him a guard Juvenile. But Juvenile ever cuss the dopey them and a be a sitting. This is what Citypuss confided in witness number 1 during a phone call. That recording is among several that were turned over to the police by the witness, a former top-tier, self-confessed top-tier gang member himself, who turned state witnesses who secretly taped the conversation of his fellow gang members. Me and the little boy reason straight. Him a guide man yasso, said we. A 2-time warder come search me, and him say look out for them in the afternoon Thursday, and then them come Thursday same hours where him tell me, said Citypuss on the recording. Boy, people them think I get interested in a strap in. Hear this. And the youth tell me say next week Thursday them a go come back. Him tell me 1 week in advance. Him tell me say them a come here today, but them now go search. Him say look for them in the week, yeah. Thursday, them a come search. And me I tell you, them a come search. Me ask if I in the morning or in the afternoon. Him say afternoon. and the alleged elder Klansman declared almost reverentially, "The little you tell me say Papa," which is the accused, whose name is Joseph McDermott, a correspondent. He said, "The little youth tell me say Papa," a correspond with Bucky. You see me? Brocky. Brocky is a member of the rival Tashamela faction of the gang who is now dead. Him tell me say we have to be careful of him, Brocky, because we have to be careful of Papa, because Papa correspond with Brocky. Incidentally, witness 1 in his own testimony in October and November of last year had claimed that the gang, McDermott in particular, was not averse to dabbling in the occult. Now hear this. I wonder if them killed any of them rivals or friend based on what this teenage Obeah man said. Because he said the Obeah man protect him in a jail, and tell him even when time water coming to search him cell, and tell him when people are being disloyal and who is being disloyal and who is rubbing elbows with the enemy. So who to be careful of. So I wonder if they ever took out anybody because of what the Obeah man said. Can you imagine the Obeah man just a guess and the Obeah man is wrong and them kill you because one little teenage youth who say my Obeah man give them the wrong information. Anyhow, in fact, on November 1st, witness number 1 who detailed a crude request from McDermott for the body of a man who had been killed to be dug up so we could get the skull of the body to drink some blood from it. He said that McDermott was the individual that was responsible for guarding the back entry to the gang's Jones Avenue headquarters to ensure that none of their rivals from the rival faction would enter, and he would patrol there at nights. Nobody was to enter. Anybody he sees who he doesn't know, he shoot them, and shoot to kill is what the witness claimed at the time. The request for the skull of the dead man, he said, came during an intense instance when he alleged that he had returned from the off-road where he had gone to buy AK-47 and an M16 rifle. He said that on meeting up with one of the men in the Shelter Rock community in the area, he saw McDermott telling another accused that he wanted the skull of a man that they had buried. This is somebody that them kill and bury. We're not talking about no funeral and somebody who was at the morgue and family had a proper funeral. We're talking about somebody who they murder and bury. They now want to go back to dig up the person so them can get the skull, so they can drink blood from the skull of their enemies. Mirated. Them something weird, to say the least. Now, according to the witness, he asked McDermott what he wanted the skull for. And then McDermott said, I wanted to drink some blood from it. In the meantime, Citypuss, who has laid claim to serving under 2 administrations of the Klansman gang and killing for members, former leader Bulby Bennett, in several of the tape conversations, had been heard making comments about several of his cronies whom he wanted to see dead. They're all being exposed. Because right now, them cronies, some of them are sitting down right next to him, and is on trial with Citypuss, And them now hear recordings of Citypuss. I say, that's like me sit down next to my wife and me I hear she say, Shakira Sphere saying, yeah, I want the boy dead. But all along, I didn't know that until now the recordings are being played. So even these recordings are turning them against each other. and law enforcement don't have to do nothing. You know how law enforcement carry them go in a different room and they might say, listen, you might as well work with us, because your virgin over there, so in a room number 4, already told us everything, and him say, are you the most it? So we want to hear your version unless you want to take all of the time by yourself. And they do that and play bad cop, good cop. In this case, they don't have to do that. All they have to do is let the recordings play. These recordings that have been played have already allowed them to discover that there were more people in their gang that were working as informants, that were working as snitches, that were betraying them behind their back, and all kind of something like that, planning their death, and all kind of something like that. So right now, they should be in shambles. Now in the meantime, Citypuss, who has laid claim to serving, Citypuss himself, right, on quite a few of these recordings, has already admitted, a me kill so-and-so, and a me kill so-and-so father. So they have an admittance of murder. It could be a claim, and he's just trying to claim a body, forget stripes. But they also have witness testimony that says, yes, me did daddy and him do it. And now they have him on recording saying, yes, he did it. He's another one who I think is not coming out. I don't know. I think some of them are going to be able to beat this and walk. But I don't think all of them are going to be able to. Some of them definitely are going to prison for a long time. In several of the tape conversations, Citypuss been heard talking how much he wants some of his cronies to be dead. In the most recent of those conversations, which were aired out yesterday in court, the alleged gangster was heard expressing impatience over the fact that 2 individuals whose death had allegedly been ordered by their leader, Andre Blackman Bryan, in 2019, had not been carried out yet. That means a black man saying want them dead, and all now, man a go and shaky like them no want to step on the works. The court heard that the gangsters had gone to the extent of renting a motor car and selecting the gun that they were going to carry out the shootings. But then they reneged on it. They turned back. Them said them nah do it. I don't know, I guess them duppy did a work. I guess them did have the Obeah man there, the little youth. And the youth was good at what he did. And them teenage Obeah man was warning them and giving them good insights into what's going to happen. The court also heard that the gangsters were extorting jockeys from the Caymanas tracks located in St. Catherine. The trial resumes before Chief Justice Sykes in the Supreme Court, and we look forward to hearing more of these recordings. Now, y'all got to remember something. This is a trial by judge only. No jury is in here, and also limited amount of media house coverage as far as cameras are not allowed in here. So we can't see who's testifying what comes up on the screen. We're not getting direct voice notes. We're just getting transcripts written out. So we read them back to you. My disclaimer at SouFLoTV. I am neither taking from nor adding to. I am giving you what is transpiring, so you have a clear understanding. Now, I might put my opinion in from time to time, but that's about it. All right. None of this is my information. I wasn't there. I have no ties to these people. I know nothing. I am simply compiling information from different angles, different media houses, and delivering them to a section of my audience who is interested in hearing what a gwan in the Klansman One Done gang trial, which is shaping up to be the biggest trial in Jamaica's history. All right, stay tuned. More will be coming soon. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.